In this week's Greyhound View, we look back at the much-anticipated final of the Cox Cup from Newbridge, and we pay our first visit to Longford for the semi-final of the Longford Derby. But first, we go to Shelbourne Park, where the final of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks took place on Saturday night, in front of a capacity crowd.
We're at Shelbourne Park this evening. The weather's come good, there's a massive crowd, and it's the big night of the year for the ladies. Tonight, the final of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks is the feature. The favourite is likely to be trap number 1, Axel Grease. But first, let's take a look at the consolation final.
Bell goes. In trap 1, Don's Beauty. 2, Charity Mindy. 3, Count Again. It's back to 6-4, number 1, Don's Beauty. In 4, Miss Odie, the outsider. 5, Alan Band. And in trap 6, One Like You. The early pace, well, Charity Mindy usually flies out. So the 5 and 6 are fast starters. Don's Beauty is no slouch either. As the hare now comes up behind the traps, ready for off the consolation. And away they go on 5, takes a flyer. Alan Band to the corner. Charity Mindy on her inside. And number 1 on the inside of that top, Don's Beauty, is the head into the back straight. It's Don's Beauty in front, being challenged on the outside by Alan Band. Count Again is just in behind him in third. Heading down towards the third bend, and Don's Beauty begins to go on. From number 5, Alan Band in second. Count Again getting through on the inside to go second. Around the final bend now, and it's number 1, Don's Beauty in front, being challenged now by Count Again, who's forced to switch. And Don's Beauty from Count Again coming to the line. It's 1-3. Don's Beauty, Count Again coming at her, but Don's Beauty has won it. Count Again in second, and number 5, Alan Band in third, in a time of 28.81. And the result was the winner, number 1, Don's Beauty, the 6-4 favourite. Second, number 3, Count Again. And in third place, number 5, Alan Band, time 28.81.
As you can see from the crowds here tonight, well, the Greyhound game is really going extremely well. One man who's very happy about that is the chairman of the Irish Greyhound Board, Paschal Taggart. Paschal, Shelbourne going very well, huge crowd tonight, but a lot of developments around the country too.
Yeah, Michael, everything's going well. Every time we've developed a track, it's gone fantastically well. And in the pipeline, you've got Lifford coming on, which I think is going to be the Las Vegas of the Northwest. And I have very, very high hopes for that. Then Waterford's opening in September with a new £2.5 million extension. I'll get used to the Euro one of these days. And then we've got plans going ahead for Dundalk, going in for planning permission in Limerick, and Clonmel's opening. So it's a very, very exciting time. And attendances are fantastic.
The Limerick one, of course, is very interesting because it's going to be a new site now.
Yes, it's going to be a new 14-acre site, and we hope to build a very, very fine stadium there, which will have everything: car parking, best facilities, best food, best everything. So it's a very exciting time in greyhound racing, and we're very happy.
You've already mentioned Lifford and the possibility of Dundalk. Huge northern voices around here tonight. Obviously, Dundalk and Lifford very important for the northwestern and northeastern part of the country.
Well, Michael, you know that the northern people have been great supporters of greyhound racing over the years. Probably the most important people in that. And certainly in the betting terms, they're probably the best bettors this side of the Atlantic. I mean, Dundalk fellas don't know any fear, as you know. And whenever Dundalk opens, I think they'll see record betting, which will be second only to Shelbourne Park. And I think I'm looking forward to that tremendously. And as you're well aware, that's a joint horse racing greyhound situation. So you're going to have a horse racing track with the greyhound track inside. So I look forward to the day when you have one greyhound race, one horse race, one greyhound race.
The greyhounds are now coming out into the parade area for this 2002 final. A prize of €35,000 awaiting the winner.
In trap 1, Axel Grease, owned by Larry Dunn from Dundalk, bred by Margaret Moore in Dungannon, and trained in Navan by Ollie Bray. Axel Grease, a daughter of Top Honcho and Fee's Chance, she's been favourite since the draw was made, very well drawn on the inside. In trap 2 is Hey Good Looking, owned by Timmy Byrne and his fellow syndicate members, bred by Peter Tiernan in Drogheda and trained by Mary Gilbert in Skerries. Hey Good Looking, a daughter of Vintage Prince and Lady Ariana, a model of consistency, fast starter and stays on well too. Number 3 is Alan Joy, owned by Peter Comerford from Naas, bred by Matt O'Donnell in Killinall and trained by Peter Comerford. Alan Joy, a daughter of Lenson Lad and the other Joy, the outsider of the party, but a very consistent performer, can go up well and stays on strongly. Number 4 is Life's Beauty, owned by Larry Byrne from Coolgraney in Gorey, bred by Larry and trained in Wexford by Nicky Turner. Life's Beauty, a daughter of Stapler's Joe and Annie's Touch. This one can fly from traps and she's very good value at present odds. Number 5, Crossley Lark, owned by Madeline O'Brien from Carlow, bred by Madeline and trained by Madeline and husband Harry. Crossley Lark, a daughter of Larkhill Joe and Crossley Spark, one of the fastest finishers in training. If she's in touch at halfway, well, keep an eye out for her. And in 6, Long Valley Tina, very strongly fancied, owned by Tom and Danjo Collins from Newcestown and Cork, bred by them and trained in Gorn by Paul Hennessy. Long Valley Tina, daughter of Some Picture and Unlucky Lady, very well drawn in 6, the gamble of the night, Long Valley Tina. The bell will sound now in a second, and then the hare will start its journey for the 2002 Sporting Press Irish Oaks final. In 1, we have Axel Grease, 2-1. 2, Hey Good Looking at 5-1. 3, Alan Joy at 50-1. 4, Life's Beauty at 6-1. 5, Crossley Lark at 6-1. And 6, Long Valley Tina, now 6-4 favourite as the hare comes up behind the traps, ready for the off, and away they go, and it's Life's Beauty from 4. She's leading up from number 2 on the inside and 1, but it's Life's Beauty goes around the bend in front by a length and a half. Number 1, Axel Grease getting into position. Now Hey Good Looking is in second, heading down the back straight as we see the favourites at the rear, but they're beginning to motor. It's Life's Beauty, 3 in front, heading the second last bend from number 2. Hey Good Looking. Now number 6 is putting in a run. Long Valley Tina closing, but it's Life's Beauty out in front. Is she going to be caught? Life's Beauty coming to the line with Crossley Lark putting in a huge run, but Life's Beauty has won the Oaks when Crossley Lark in second place. A tremendous run. I said 6-1 about each of those. 2 was a steal. Life's Beauty, she bombs away. What a barbecue it's going to be in Turner's outside Barntown tonight. Let's watch it again as Life's Beauty comes out racing from trap 4. 1 and 2, Hey Good Looking and Axel Grease, but not doing each other any help at all on the inside. Number 3 is next, Alan Joy. She forces the 2 favourites there wide, and they lose vital ground at this stage. We see Crossley Lark and Long Valley Tina. Long Valley Tina actually going by Crossley Lark now into 3rd place, and Crossley Lark in 4th, but it's Life's Beauty, 3 in front of Hey Good Looking. Here now comes Long Valley Tina. She disappointed a bit on the run home, and now watch Crossley Lark in that orange jacket as she switches out to the outside and powers up this finishing straight. But it's Life's Beauty in front, galloping to the line. Life's Beauty wins it from a flying Crossley Lark in 2nd place, a photo of 3rd, and number 6 Long Valley Tina has got 3rd place. And the result, a great victory for number 4 Life's Beauty at 6-1. 2nd was number 5 Crossley Lark, and 3rd number 6 Long Valley Tina, the favourite, in a time of 28.70.
Well, a regular face on the track scene of Ireland is Larry Byrne. He's just had his biggest success to date. Larry, can you explain how you feel right now?
Well, it's a relief to have actually got there. It's a relief to have done what I said I'd do, which was to win it and to do 28.70. Which is what I've been saying all week to everybody. And I reckon she was the fastest bitch in Ireland. I once sold her to a guy for 5,000 on the basis that she was the fastest bitch in Ireland, even though she'd only had been in a box twice in her life. And his trainer came from England and said, she's not fast enough. I said, thank you very much, here's your money back. You'll be sorry someday.
Bit of a fairy tale story.
Yeah, it was a fairy tale story, but I bred her to win. Her bred her mother, the Stapler's Joe, to breed a bitch to win the Oaks. Because about 5 years ago, or approximately that, I rang a gentleman in Thurles to buy a bitch who had just done about 29.80 in a race. And it says, I'll ring you back later on to see what you sell. So I rang back that night, I was told, sorry, it's not for sale, we think we'll run her a few more races. That bitch was born a survivor.
Lovely.
That was my first taste of real Stapler's Joe. I said I'd have to improve on that.
And when you saw her come out of traps tonight, you must have had a look twice almost.
Well, I expected her to lead. I expected her to lead from trap to line, and I expected her to be 4 clear in the back straight, and she did exactly as I thought. Was no different than what I expected her to do. She missed in the semi-final. I felt fearful in the semi-final. I felt she could miss in the semi-final, and she made an absolute dog's dinner in the box in the semi-final, lost 5 lengths in it. So extrapolating the 5 lengths on 29.04, it worked out at 28.69, 28.70. She did it tonight for me.
So you now be known as Mystic Meg, yeah?
Well, I'm being lucky. My father won the Irish Harrowage back in the 70s in Navan, his first greyhound ever in a classic, and I said that the day had come and people to remember his name, and I come and I do the same. So I did it, and I'm happy.
Well, hopefully the breed will last for many years to come.
Yeah, well, hopefully so, yes. Well, that's the thing, yes. I have her mother, I have 7 new babies at home by Stapler's Joe again. So I think I'll be back in the year 2004 with another pair.
The phone will certainly be ringing on Monday. Thanks very much, Larry.
Thank you very much.
A huge crowd on the stands as they watch Late Late Show going through his trial. He came out just a little bit sideways there, but powering into this opening bend from trap 6 in his favourite striped jacket and striding out majestically now as he hits the back straight. This is first test over 550 yards in quite some time, and he's really motoring down the back straight. This would be a very, very fast sectional, I'd imagine. This is his first run over the 550 yards since, well, he has ran his 600th final in the Euro off track where he was injured and finished down the field. Had a 5:05 trial last week, now coming up to the line in the 550 yards, and he's done 29.95. So a 29.95 run from Late Late Show over the 550-yard trip. Well, we've just seen Late Late Show in action in his trial at Shelbourne Park on Saturday night, but the favourite for the Irish Derby actually returned to action last week at Nottingham when running in the Derby trial stake there. Top Savings ran from trap 4 in a very hot contest. Things didn't go quite right for him in the race. He was balked at the start and then crowded at the second bend and was struggling thereafter, although beaten 2 lengths at the end. The race was won by Droopy Shoot, which ran from trap 1, led it from the first bend, and well, now we wonder what's the story with Top Savings. He's not going to run in the Champion Stakes, but they say Charlie Lister, the trainer, tells us that he's definitely going for the Derby. He remains the favourite, but he'll need to come out and do a more convincing performance than this before he can convince all the Irish punters that he's a worthy Derby favourite.
And the anti-post betting from Paddy Power for the Irish Derby is Top Savings at 6-1, Late Late Show 10-1, Rutland Budgie 16-1, along with Priceless Rebel, Santa Vita and Jet Spray both at 20-1.
Join us in part 2 for top-class action from Longford and Newbridge.
On what was a fine and sunny evening on Friday night, Longford hosted the semi-finals of the Bruce Betting Longford Derby. There was a good crowd present. Let's take a look at the runners for the opening semi. And the runners for the opening semi-final in trap order. In 1 is Briar Hill Lady, in 2 Phoenix Kit, in 3 Kalinin Buddy, in 4 Tamna Maggie, in 5 Michael's Fox, and in trap 6 completing the lineup Top Tank. And the here now on the way for this opening semi-final. The dogs all set and waiting in traps. And away they go. And first to show number 4 is Tamna Maggie, and her outside number 5 Michael's Fox, who just forced a check there. And number 4 now Tamna Maggie goes round in front. Second is number 1 Briar Hill Lady. Back in third, moving strongly, number 3 Kalinin Buddy. Down the far side though is number 4 Tamna Maggie. She's gone about 3 lengths clear of number 1 Briar Hill Lady, who's still poised in second. Back in third is still Kalinin Buddy, but around the final 2 corners, number 4 Tamna Maggie still leads. Here comes number 1 Briar Hill Lady with a run back in third. Number 3 Kalinin Buddy up to the line. Briar Hill Lady coming back at Tamna Maggie on the line, very close. Number 3 Kalinin Buddy third, but very close for first place. And the result of the opening semi-final, number 1 Briar Hill Lady got up to beat number 4 Tamna Maggie, a short head the verdict. Back in third, number 3 Kalinin Buddy. The winning time 28.48, and the winner was 2-1. And on to the second semi-final, the runners in trap order. In 1 is Winsome Blue, 2 is Get Here, in 3 Kalinin Prince, 4 Miss Blue Eyes, 5 Lemon Sash, and trap number 6 My Montana. The hare coming up behind the traps for this second semi-final. And away they go. And first to show number 3 Kalinin Prince, on his inside number 2 Get Here, and further out number 5 Lemon Sash the favourite, but around the top 2 corners, and number 2 Get Here strikes the front from number 3 now Kalinin Prince, moving strongly in third. Now going second is number 5 Lemon Sash, but down the far side number 2 Get Here still holds a length and a half, 2 length lead over number 5 Lemon Sash around the third corner. Back in third number 3 Kalinin Prince, a further gap to number 4 Miss Blue Eyes, but around the final corner it's number 2 Get Here starting to stride clear, coming up to the line. Get Here, a very comfortable winner, close for second. We'll leave that to the judge. And Get Here taking the second semi-final in very impressive fashion. Second was number 5 Lemon Sash, the 6-4 favourite, and third number 3 Kalinin Prince. The winning time of 28.26 was a new track record. They're now in traps for the final semi-final in trap order. In 1 is Arbor Pat, in 2 Back to the Pecker, in 3 is Star of Texas, 4 Rummy Lad, 5 Drumlanach's Boy, and trap number 6 Cool Stride. The hare coming around the final turn. The dogs all set. And away they go. And first to show number 3, Star of Texas, but quickly overtaken by number 2, Back to the Pecker. On the outside, number 4, Rummy Lad. Number 1 now is trying to sneak through on the inside. That's Arbor Pat. Out of the second corner, and number 1, Arbor Pat, does strike the front. He's got a length clear of number 2, Back to the Pecker. In third, number 4, Rummy Lad, and further back, number 5, Drummondlock Boy trying to close. But around the final 2 corners, number 1, Arbor Pat, gone clear about 3 lengths now of number 2, Back to the Pecker. On his outside, number 4, Rummy Lad challenging. But around the final corner, up the home straight, number 1, Arbor Pat is not going to be caught. Running on well, number 4, Rummy Lad back in third. Number 2, Back to the Pecker. The final semi-final went to number 1, Arbor Pat at 2-1. Second was number 4, Rummy Lad, and back in third, number 2, Back to the Pecker. The winning time, 28.62.
The trap draw for next Friday's final in 1, the new track record holder Get Here, owned by Ian Lindsay from Scotland and trained by Eddie Dunn. Number 2 is Rummy Lad, trained by Dolores Ruth for Sheila Dowling from Kildare. In 3, Arbor Pat, owned by Patricia Hayes from England, trained by Ollie Bray. Number 4, Tamna Maggie, trained by Roy Foster, owned by Seamus Fagan and Charlie Grant. In 5 will be Briar Hill Lady, trained by Jerry Holian for Sean Corcoran from Galway. And in 6 will be Lemon Sash, owned and trained by Denny Lennon in Kilkenny. It looks quite an open final, but the trap draw is very much in favour of the new record holder Get Here. Trap 1, his early pace can get him clear and he'll take some catching. Rummy Lad of course ran extremely well in the ledger. He could be the real danger, but Get Here looks the one to be on. Shelbourne Park last night, it's Newbridge tonight for the final of the Cox Cup. €25,000 for the winner, a massive crowd here, really great racing and an atmosphere absolutely tremendous. Flashing Moment, locally trained, is the favourite to win it, but last year's winner, Word of God, is running from trap 2, and in 5 is a dog called MD Boys, very well drawn. Another local runner in 6, Dale Inferno, watch for him. But let's have a look at the dogs on parade. In trap 1 we have Santon Chateau, owned by Mary Walsh, trained by Liam Ramsbottom, a son of Vintage Prince and Gary Glassdarkey. This fella local specialist, very well drawn on the inside. Number 2 is the favourite, Flashing Moment, jointly owned by Martin Small and Mick O'Donnell, trained by Jerry Melia. This one a son of Frisbee Flashing and Clonakilty Lace. He's the 2-1 favourite as we speak, a good dog with great early pace. Number 3, last year's winner, Word of God, owned by Alicia Swaffield, trained by Francis O'Donnell, a son of Vintage Prince and Batty Spirit. This fellow runs Newbridge to perfection. He powers home, but he can shift to the bend too. Number 4, Simply Supreme, a dog who loves the inside trap, owned by Charlie Nolan from Fenna, trained by Paul Hennessy, a son of Beaming Supreme and Aries Rose. He'll dive for the inside on the run-up, but he's a very formidable performer. Number 5 is MD Boys. This one is a perfect draw, owned by the Asti Boys Syndicate, trained by Iron Paddy McCormack, the son of Some Gamble and Kanaska Sharp. This fella should get a very clear run to the bend. He has great pace up and down the back straight. Number 6 is Dale Inferno, owned by Charlie Crane from Glasgow, trained by Fraser Black, a son of Westmead Merlin and Ladywell Gar, winner of the Cesarewitch last year, a Derby finalist. Big chance, a powerful finisher, but reported to be coughing in the kennel. The bell goes for the 2002 Cox Cup final. In trap 1, Santon Chateau at 8-1 as we go to traps. 2, Flashing Moment, the 7-4 favourite. 3, Word of God. 4, Simply Supreme. 5 is MD Boys. And in 6, Dale Inferno. Here behind the traps and away they go. And it's Flashing Moment from 2, but number 3, Word of God. Last year's winner leading up and on the inside, Flashing Moment. Flashing Moment, number 2, leads on the bend. There's trouble in behind. From number 3, Word of God in second. Number 5, MD Boys is third. And then Simply Supreme. Down the back, it's Flashing Moment by a couple of lengths. From last year's winner, Word of God in second. Number 5, MD Boy, showing pace to the third bend. It's still Flashing Moment, but here comes Word of God on the outside. Flashing Moment on the inside. Word of God on the outside, turning for home. It's Flashing Moment on the inside. Word of God on the outside, coming to the line. It's very close. A desperate finish with Simply Supreme on the inside and Dale Inferno coming from the clouds. A blanket finish, one we'll definitely leave to the judge. Well, let's take another look at that thriller. Out of traps, Word of God is the one who actually shows in front. Flashing Moment going up the inside into the corner. And now it was on this first bend where really it was decided. Flashing Moment getting through on the inside of Word of God, going ahead down the back straight from Word of God. The field beginning to just close in behind him. Flashing Moment checking just fractionally into the third bend. Word of God now closing. At this stage it looked as if Word of God was going to win it on the outside. And looking behind, they're all gathering. Simply Supreme finishing fast. Dale Inferno beginning to get in it. Up the straight, they're coming in a line towards the line, in a blanket. Oh, how close. The judge, well, he was a busy man tonight. And the result of that dramatic Cox Cup final, a blanket finish with number 2 Flashing Moment winning by a head from number 3 Word of God. It was then a short head to number 5 MD Boys in third, another short head to number 6 Dale Inferno in fourth, and another short head to number 4 Simply Supreme in fifth. The winning time 30:06. What a thriller. Well, what a finish. The Newbridge management couldn't have stage managed it any better. Flashing Moment winning it by a head and a few short heads. I have with me two very happy men, the owners, Martin Small and Mick O'Donnell. Lads, it's not the first time you've been in front of the cameras after a big win, but that must have been the closest.
Yes, that was really exciting. We got a great thrill out of it.
Mick, you've been a bit pessimistic before these big races. Now, during that race, yeah, well, go through the race with us there, how you thought it was going.
I thought going to the first bend, I thought he had no chance. But up the backstretch, you thought he had little chance. But at the third bend, when I saw Word of God moving up, I said, that's it, he's gone again. Thank God he's made up for the Gold Cup in Shelbourne Park that we missed. And this is 100 times better.
Did you, the heart give a few beats on the way up the straight?
I'm not in the better of this yet. It was a brilliant race, I must say.
Did you think he had got up in the finish?
I wasn't sure. I thought first he had, but when I went in and looked at the video, I had my doubts.
Now, from here, we have won the Cox Cup. That's a tremendous achievement in itself. What now for the dog?
I don't know. I suppose we'll probably run him in the Champion Stakes if he gets in. But I suppose he's really not a 550 dog. My idea for that dog would be the Laurels in Cork. He'd be a super dog in Cork, I'd imagine. But I think the Derby distance is small, be too far.
Did you leave your mark in the betting ring tonight, Martin?
Had a few shillings on, yes.
So there's a few sore pockets in there among the bookies, aren't there?
Not too bad.
But that's another great performance, great win, Flashing Moment, and hopefully, well, we'll be talking to you again after another big one.
With a little bit of luck.
It was a thriller, I must say.
A very busy weekend on the greyhound front, starting on Thursday with the Red Mill 600 final at Enniscorthy. Then on Friday, action all over the country. The final of the Bruce Betting Longford Derby at Longford, the semi-finals of the Ger O'Neill Connacht Derby at Galway, the semi-finals of the AIB Open 600 at Newbridge, where also the Texelcloth Newbridge Puppy Derby gets underway. At Tralee, the first round of the Paddy Byrne Memorial will be run, and at Harold's Cross, the first round of the Egan Catering Oaks. Then on Saturday, the semi-finals of the Boyle Sports Champion Stakes at Shelbourne Park, while the final of the Bus Éireann Eatclub Stakes will be run at Cork. And Sunday, another busy one, the final of the Tipperary Cup of Thurles and the big Ballymena CC benefit meeting at Lifford.
Join us next week when we bring you 3 finals from Cork, Longford and Thurles, plus from Shelbourne Park, the semi-final of the Boyle Sports Champion Stakes. For further information on Irish greyhound racing, ownership and syndication, visit our website at www.igb.ie or email us at admin@igb.ie.